Hey guys, this is spoilers from the first ride of the 52 volt conversion. Um, just to recap, I had to do it because that damaged cell was just leaking way too much electrolyte and I was just not comfortable riding with it. Also, the voltage drop from that damaged cell in the system was a little bit more than expected. So yeah, I just decided to remove it, and where I spent about a day and a half just, pure work, not a day and a half, about a day, just converting it to the 2 volts. And this time I, kind of over-engineered tabs, isolations a little bit better, so I've never had that, I've never had that short issue again with the tabs. So here's me riding on the 52 volts. So it is definitely a lot slower than 60 volts. I think for me, 60 volts is probably would be the minimum in the future that I would use for an e-bike because it's just a little too slow. Well, the other thing is I'm only also at half charge, a little less than half charge at this point. And one of the funny things that happened was that, like, when I was riding it, before it's testing, it would just cut out at like, it would not cut out, but it would kind of limit itself at like 10 amps or something like that, which I find really confusing. And I think the reason why it was doing that was I forgot to switch the controller, the low voltage threshold, from 48 or 60 volt system down to 42. So I was literally hitting 48 when I was drawing power. Um, Trying to go. So I think that was maybe the reason why. And I also tightened the battery holder a little bit more afterwards as well. So that might have been it too. Um, One of the things that I could do now with the 52 volt system, as you can see, is that there's this kind of in the middle here. There's like a window box, and so basically I just milled out a square, and I put in a GoPro plastic, I guess the back of a GoPro action cam plastic, and that had a laying around, see-through. So I actually inlaced a watt meter into the system now because watt meters generally go up to 60 volts. So I couldn't really use it on a 60 volt system because obviously when you charge over nominal voltage, just over that voltage. But with 52 volt, the highest the voltage will go is 58.8. So this is actually within the parameters of this voltmeter, which is, a couple of really good things is that now I actually know how much power I'm drawing and how much capacity I'm using when I am going on my rides. And it is definitely different than my expectations. The first thing is that this bike is horribly inefficient. So I'm pulling like 1,000 watts or something like that just to go like 25 miles per hour. 1,000 watts should really get you at 30 miles per hour on a regular e-bike, without fat tires, without a heavy battery, and whatnot. Obviously with my weight, that is, and probably most people weights too, it should be around 1,000 watts. So, but it's actually a lot more, and because of that, the capacity and the range is a little bit different. So this is a 8 mile, 8.5 mile run, and this is average out. So I'm using around 5 amp hours per 8 miles. Um, and now this is a 60 amp hour system. So 5 divided by 60 is 12, and 12 times 8 is 96 miles. So in total, theoretically, going the speeds that you see me going now, like around mid 20s, average probably lower 20s, I can only get 96-mile range with this without any pedaling. And yeah, so that's not that great. And obviously, it's better than most things that are out there at the moment, retail e-bikes, but it's not that stupendous. I was really hoping for that 100-mile, 30-mile per hour range. And to get that, I think I just need a more efficient battery or a more efficient system. What I could do is I could swap out the knobbies here for road tires, smooth road tires, and that might definitely help. But you know, it's 52 volts now, and you know, I'm just not impressed with 52 volts. You know, so this bike is really nothing special at the moment. It's definitely longer range than most e-bikes, but there's nothing really special. And I'm also falling more and more into the legal aspects of e-bikes, because you know, I would actually consider this a class 3 e-bike, because right now I really don't think I can go above 30 with this system at the moment. I think my upper limit would be 30, 32. And obviously the class 3 is 28, but you know, obviously that's not, no one really gonna knows that. The PAS is arriving today, hopefully. I actually did get the 3-way switch from China before I got the PAS from America, which is not surprising because a lot of eBay sellers now are using this, like, you know, weird service where it's just like a 2-week wait for something that's literally should be, even with USPS, should be within 3 days. So, you know, well, it is what it is. I don't really needed it. It's just more of a test. So it's gonna come today, and I'll work on it tomorrow to get it going tomorrow, and you know, to get everything going. So yeah, that'll be interesting. And then with that, you know, I'll be pretty much a legal e-bike at that point. I mean, right now I'm pretty much on borderline of legal and illegal. When I was 60 volts, maybe I was a little illegal. When I was 72 volts, I was definitely illegal. I was going like 42, 45 miles per hour top speed. Yeah, I do miss that. I think one of the things I realized with this build is that the frame really does matter. The quality really does matter. You know, this is self-built. I put the battery in the frame. I had to split it up in both ways, and maybe it's just because it's the pouch batteries. But because the pouch batteries themselves, there's no. You really need to have an enclosure for a pouch battery because the tabs are vulnerable, which is probably what caused, you know, obviously, which caused me a lot of problems. And yeah, so you really need to have that pouch or that enclosure, and the enclosure itself needs to be really specific because you gotta protect those tabs. So it needs to be such that the tabs are protected, and you know, they won't get, you know, if it gets jostled around, it won't get scrunched up or anything like that, which will obviously cause a lot of problems. So I guess there's a benefit to using the cylindrical 18650, 23 650, 30 whatever 650. Here I'm almost die because look, the lights are flashing red, right? So basically it indicates a 4-way stop. Everyone's 4-way stop. Here, okay, now I'm going because this guy went, and look at this blue car. This is actually my mom. She almost killed me because as I was going, you know, from a 4-way stop, this light literally changed back to the regular system, and that blue car, which was my mom, literally almost just T-boned me. And it was not her fault because the light changed when she was going back to green. You could see beforehand that literally the cars were doing a 4-way stop at that light. Like, what in the hell was that? Literally, so you know, you guys gotta be careful out there. I'm not sure if there's anything around that. I don't think I wasn't being a hooligan or anything like that. But yeah, that was pretty dangerous. It wasn't that close. Like, you know, I was was like 10 feet from being hit, but you know that's an extra 1 second there. Yeah. Anyway, talk to you guys later.